Hey everyone, well, it's take two. That's not such a bad thing though. Welcome to my kitchen. It is Thursday, March 21st, and hopefully my audio is working this time. First time around, apparently I had somehow turned off my audio. So welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we are going to make something called cheesy ham and potato casserole. I think you're going to love this recipe because you're going to be able to use it as a way to use up your leftover Easter ham. I don't know about you, but like we buy ham at this time of the year, even if we don't need it for Easter dinner ourselves, just to keep on hand for things like this. But also, even when we are the ones who are maybe making the ham for Easter dinner or Christmas dinner, we always make sure we have leftovers. Like the leftover ham is one of the best things, right? But I don't know about you. I can only have so many ham sandwiches before I'm kind of done with ham sandwiches. Hey, Christine, how are ya? Way out there on the west side of the country. Um, so I am always looking for a great new recipe to use up that leftover ham. Scallop potatoes is another one that we do a lot with leftover ham, but again, it's just nice to have something different. And this is a recipe you could make any time of the year. So if you can hear my microwave buzzing, it's because I forgot to thaw the ham. This is ham that's been in our deep freezer that my husband bought last time it was on sale, probably at Christmas time. And what I thought was that it was already chunked up, but it's not. So we are going to have to do that real quick as well. But the other thing I love about this recipe that I'm going to share with you tonight is that it uses ingredients that you probably already have on hand or are pretty easy to pick up. So, for instance, it calls for butter, it calls for flour, chicken broth, milk, cheddar cheese, pepper. The only thing I actually had to go buy was the frozen diced potatoes because I have not done that before. Um, I've never used that kind of thing before, and personally, I would probably make this from that part from scratch. But for your sakes tonight, I wanted to make it exactly the way the recipe is written because it just seemed like the right thing to do. So I do need to preheat my oven, and I was saying before I came on live and then I had to go off because my sound wasn't working. But I really lost track of the time getting ready for tonight's closet sale. And I was sitting at my computer, and for whatever reason, I thought it was earlier than it was. So I'm a little disheveled for coming on live. My kitchen is kind of a mess. So I tried to clear out so it didn't look too bad for you guys. Moved everything out of the camera range, right? And so this is going to actually be made in this stainless steel casserole. So this is one of our pieces of um, what do I want to say? So it's got the glaze, or not the glaze, but it's just got that enamel coating. That's the word I was looking for. And I actually just used this for dinner yesterday, and it's got a weird, I don't know if it just didn't get washed right. There's something on the lid here that I want to just wipe off. So these are so nice to use for this kind of a recipe because it goes right from the stovetop into the oven and then to your dinner table. And look how pretty this is. This is the gray that we have. And you might remember last month we had it available in the red enamel, which was beautiful. It originally was out for the holidays, then they brought it back for Valentine's Day, and I'm really hopeful we'll have it again this coming holiday season, which you're all like, don't even talk about that. That's 10 months from now. And you're right, it is. Some of us count down to Christmas every 25th of the month. So for me, it's like, ooh, 9 months from next Tuesday or something like that. Okay, so we are going to get this going right here on the stove top, and we're going to melt some butter in here. And I thought I had my butter. Apparently I do not. So we'll get that and get this thing going. So it's always tough when I'm doing this at the stovetop for you because I have a hard time getting the camera where I think you can see things. I have no issue putting my cutting board on this side of the stove, which is cool. So just know I'm not going to light my cutting board on fire or anything. If I was not trying to do this live, I would absolutely be doing this over on my island. But for you to see it, I need to be here. So we need 2 tablespoons of butter. I've become quite obsessive about using Kerrygold butter. What's really funny in this particular thing is that the topping is Ritz crackers, and somehow using my Kerrygold butter to make this a nice whole foods recipe and then putting Ritz crackers on top, it kind of goes against my personal philosophy of cooking, but my husband's going to love it. So fun fact, he loves Ritz crackers. We always have Ritz crackers in the house for him. And so that was an easy thing for me to grab. But if I were making this for myself, honestly, I might substitute the Ritz crackers with whole wheat panko crumbs. I think they would give you a similar crunchy top without, it would just be a more whole food using the whole wheat panko crumbs. So that would be a substitution. I'm not going to do it tonight, but it's something you could do if you wanted to. So let me go grab my whisk so we can get this going. So we've got some butter melting here, and I actually wanted to show you this whisk because it's going to be, I have one available in my closet sale tonight. So if you missed the memo about the closet sale, in the scroll here on this page, you should see the link to the event. It starts at 8 o'clock tonight. It will not be a live feed like this. It'll be at 8 o'clock. I'll start posting all the products. Up until about 8:45, I have about somewhere between 35 and 40 things that are posting, including these tongs. And I want to show you, so they're called whisk tongs because they are both a whisk, but they also can be used as a tongue. And these tines are so gentle that you can use them to pick up eggs. So these are going to be fantastic for getting eggs out of boiling water when you're making your Easter eggs next weekend. So I just wanted to share that with you. Everything in the closet sale is first come, first serve. So if that's something you think you're going to want, then you're going to really want to make sure that you are on right at 8 o'clock tonight. And I'll be posting the things to know as it goes, but or before things start tonight. But it's one of those things where you'll need to refresh your screen quite often because new things will post every minute or so. All right, so we are just making what's called a roux here, and a roux is just butter and fat. This is the way to get a really good gravy without lumps in it. So rather than putting flour and milk or flour and water in a shaker and trying to shake it to get the lumps out and pouring that into your turkey fat or whatever fat you're using to make your gravy, this is a much better way to make gravy. You won't have the lumps. You'll be so proud of yourself. Probably one of the first and best things I ever learned when I married the chef was how to make a good roux. So butter and flour. You can use your bacon fat. You can use turkey fat, a roast beef, whatever kind of fat you have. About even parts. Kind of depends on how thick you want your sauce to be in the end. And so this was actually 1 part flour, 1 part butter to 2 parts flour. So it was 2 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of flour. So it's kind of 1 to 2. It really just depends. I rarely measure it. All right, so we need some chicken broth and we need some milk. When you're making roux, you do want to make sure that if you're using milk and you're using like water or in this case chicken broth, that you use that, you put that in first. It's easier to whisk it into your roux and it is much less messy. That's not the word I wanted. Messy wasn't the word. Where was I going? My head is so spinning with tonight's thing, you guys. I'm just so distracted. I have no idea. It's very easy to scald your milk. So if you're making roux if you're making a sauce that has both like the chicken broth and milk in it, put your broth in first, because it can't scald this, and then you can add your milk. So we're going to just whisk that right in, and you should see this start to form up into our gravy here pretty quickly. So this is funny because I'm doing this the way I think it should be done. I haven't actually read the directions in the last half hour, which means I don't remember what they say. All right, so can you see? Let me lift this up so you can see how it's made this really terrific broth or gravy kind of thing. So see, there's our gravy, and look at how nice and smooth it is. No lumps. Beautiful. Now we can add our milk. We can turn the temperature way down so we don't scald anything, and we are good to go. There we go. Add the milk. And I think now I'll look at the directions to make sure I'm sort of doing this correctly. It's the way it should be written. So we'll just see here. What does it say? Add the flour, cook for 3 minutes, whisking constantly. Did that. Add the broth and the milk, whisking to remove any lumps. Bring the mixture to a simmer and cook until thickened. It is just about there. This is a very hot burner I have this on, so I've actually turned it down to the very bottom because I don't want it to overcook either. It's my husband's favorite burner, though, because I think it makes him feel like he's at work in a good way, like he's working over a stove that, is his kind of stove. Okay, so we did that. We're going to add the cheese and the pepper. Oh, perfect. This all makes sense. Okay, so we're going to grate some cheese. I was scrambling, getting everything together when I realized what the time was and that I was running late. And I could not find the cheese. And I about had a heart attack because I had a whole lot of cheese in my fridge, but nothing cheddar. I don't think brie would work well in this recipe. I did have some Parmesan and I had some mozzarella, but I don't know. I had some Swiss. That might work because, ham and Swiss, that kind of goes together. So nothing like not double checking to make sure you have all the ingredients. I was so sure. I'm sure you've done that. You're just so sure that it's there that you don't even double check when you go to the store. If you don't have this grater, I'm sorry, I don't have one in the closet sale tonight, but we can just order you one. You really want this grater. It's so quick. Look at how quick it's going through here. It's just amazing. So I would love to know if you're watching, whether you're on live or whether you're watching the recording. Are you hosting Easter this year, or are you going somewhere? Or do you know yet? I have honestly just today-ish made plans for Easter. Yesterday, I guess yesterday was the day I made the decision, and I just need to call my friend. For many, many, many years, we did Easter dinner with 2 other families in Corning. And then our kids all kind of grew up, and for a long time, I would go to my daughter's house in Virginia for Easter, which was always fun. And then we had decided we were going to try to go to North Carolina to see our son and his wife and Liam. And last week, we kind of had to can that idea. But I was still thinking, well, maybe I'd go by myself, even though Ken can't come. I really, really want to see the baby. And then realized we'll go down another time. It'll be okay. And meanwhile, my daughter has company coming that's she's gonna have a house full, so we're not gonna try to go there. So yeah. So are you hosting? And my other question is, hey Katie Miller. Hi Sharon, I see Lois. Good to see you guys. So tell me if you're hosting, and tell me if you are or aren't. Like, what is a must-have thing on your Easter dinner table? I cannot go anywhere for Easter without bringing my famous carrot cake. That is my deal. My friend, Sue, one of the two couples that we have done this with over the years, she has this cheesy potato, crazy, I can't even think about how fattening it must be, but it's only on Easter that she makes. In fact, it is such a favorite of my children that when each of them got married, she gave them the recipe and then the same Pyrex casserole dish that she makes hers in. Yes, I know, she gave them Pyrex. But she's my bestie, so I forgive her. Anyway, so we call them Sue's strack potatoes because, I don't even know where she got the recipe from. Oh, I don't want to do this yet. I want to get my potatoes in there. So Sue's strack potatoes are a must. My kids make them for Easter. Wherever we are, we have them. My carrot cake is a must. And personally, I like ham on Easter. Although we have done lasagna for Easter too. Okay, I need to make sure I am using the whole bowl. Yes, I am. So we're going to put these in. Oh, with the peas and the ham. That's all right. We're going to put these in first. Then I'll cut up the ham. There we go. So this is just diced potatoes with onions and peppers that you could very easily, I think, do yourself. I don't think you'd have to buy these frozen, but it is certainly convenient to have them this way. I'm looking for my measuring cup. What did I do with it? All right. Here's our peas. That is a lot of peas. 2 cups. Double checking. Yes. Okay. I'm okay, actually, with letting this kind of do its thing while I get this ham cut up, because these are really frozen potatoes. And it didn't say to thaw them first, so yeah, it says add frozen potatoes, ham, and peas to the skillet and toss to combine. So we're going to just let that do its thing. And then what's going to happen is it's going to go in the oven. So it says cover and bake for 30 minutes, remove and stir, and then you put the topping on, you put it back in the oven without the lid, and let it bake for another 25 to 30 minutes. That seems like a long time because the ham is cooked. But you know what? Might just take that long for those potatoes to cook. I just don't know. I'm not a casserole girl. I am married to Ken the chef. So these things are all foreign to me. All right. So it says a pound of ham. I say eyeball it. Put in as much or as little as you like. I certainly wouldn't be weighing it out unless you just have to do that. I know for some of you that would be important. You would have measured the pepper also, which you saw me not measure. So, and I mean, this is the cut ham. Yeah, okay. Thinking it doesn't say cooked or uncooked ham, but I don't know. I don't even know that you can buy ham uncooked anymore, so I could assume. But it certainly should be cooked plenty if it's in there for almost an hour at 425. Yeah, boy, that's a really hot oven. I don't know if you can hear, but my ham is still a little bit frozen. But you know what? It's okay. It's so much easier to cut it when it's frozen. Or not, I mean, not frozen hard, but like still a little bit. Same with chicken. Like if I need to fillet a chicken, I put it in that closing cut and cut it into thinner pieces. If it's just a little on the frozen side still, it's just so much easier to work with. That's my opinion. All right, did anybody comment? Christine. Yes, you could use other veggies like broccoli, which I see that's in comment response to Nancy. You're right, Nancy. You know, peas aren't my favorite either, honestly. But I think peas and ham are kind of like just a common go together. But yeah, I would substitute whatever you feel like, or just leave them out altogether if it's not your jam, you know? All right, I think that is enough ham. We're gonna just try to toss this. This is a lot of food. It's a good thing this is a big casserole. Yeah, I had this moment of, was it supposed to be in a Dutch oven? Nope, it says here. So tossing it as, actually this is a job for the mix and chop. You know the mix and chop, right? So handy for so many things. There we go. Oh, that's just doing the job so nicely. Meanwhile, this is a gas oven, so all that heat is hitting me in the face. And I am no longer cold. I am now getting actually rather toasty. Okay, let's see if we can't get this tossed a little better. And of course, just toss it right onto the stovetop over there. Oh yeah, this is much better. I gotta tell you, it looks good. It looks very good. So if I were making those hash browns from scratch, that is where my rapid prep mandolin would come in super handy. And you can just put it on the French fry cut and get your French fries and then dice those. And then I would chop up my onions and peppers with either the food chopper or the quick slice. All right. Yeah, see, I mean, that was hot, boiling. You saw it a few minutes ago, and it's now very chill. I feel like I need to show you an egg on that whisk here in just a minute. So we're going to pop this in the oven and set a timer for 30 minutes. And 30 minutes covered, and then another 25 to 30 uncovered. But I want to show you pot holders. It's not hot, but it's warm enough, and it's heavy cast iron, so I don't think I want a chance dropping it. I don't think my oven door would survive that. All right, 30 minutes. We are not going to wait. I will not make you wait for that. I will just post pictures when it's done. Do you know that this timer resets itself? Sorry, I cannot multitask at all. This timer resets itself. So if you set it for 30 minutes and it goes off, it'll reset for 30 minutes, and you just hit start again. Better than Google or Alexa, which is super handy when you're doing cookies that are 8 minutes a batch, right? Like, that is brilliant, in my opinion. Okay. I was going to tell you about my daughter calling from Uganda today, but I can't remember why now. But my daughter called from Uganda today, so that was lovely. I hadn't talked to her in over a week, and so I was glad to hear from her. And do you ever do that thing where you can't remember what you were talking about, and so you just kind of keep talking, hoping you'll remember what you were talking about, and it'll come to you? Oh, I was going to show you the whisk tongs. That's what it was. It had nothing to do with my daughter going to Uganda or being in Uganda, so I have no idea why I brought that up. Anyway, it's hard to believe. A year ago, I was there with her. Jamie was a newborn. Now she's about walking. I want to talk to you about my chicken broth here in a minute, but let's talk about how to make your cracker crumbs quick and easy. This is a trick I used to share at my live shows. So if you've never seen this before, this could be a game changer for you. So we need to chop or crush a full sleeve of Ritz crackers. And there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can give these to a 5-year-old and have them just, do this, right? That'll work. But kind of iffy. You can take a rolling pin and, you can put it, my grandma used to put them between sheets of wax paper. My grandmother, should have had stock in wax paper. She used it for everything. My mother used to wrap our lunches in wax paper. Drove me crazy. My friends all had cool not Ziploc back then, but, cool baggies. And she must have gone through a ton of wax paper. Anyway, here's the easiest way to do it. You throw the crackers in the bowl. You take your favorite Pampered Chef food chopper, and you simply do this in the bowl. Coarse or fine, whatever you want. This will work for any kind of cracker. So you need crushed graham crackers for a graham cracker crust. Ooh, maybe that's what you make. I would love to know if anybody makes lemon meringue pie for Easter. That is another one of my faves. I'm gonna have to make that just to make it. Oh, my husband must be home. And there, look at that, in seconds. Now, I did crush them a little bit ahead of time, so they had a head start, but it is so quick. It is so quick. So graham cracker crumbs, Oreo cookies, gingerbread or ginger snaps, anything that you need to make into crumbs from crackers, do it in your batter bowl with the food chopper. Easy peasy, no mess. You don't have crackers flying everywhere, right? And so what I'll do is melt some butter. It's 2 tablespoons of butter that I will add to this, mix it up. This will go on top of the casserole for the last 20. And we had a disconnect there, so in case I went blank, sorry, total distraction all of a sudden. So the last 25 minutes in the oven, we'll have the topping on it, and yeah, I'll post pictures when it's done. So again, closet sale starts in 2 hours. It is 6 o'clock. It starts at 8 Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already joined the event, make sure you get in there, and then you want to be on live because as things go up, the first person who comments sold gets that item. I will give you a heads up since you're on live and you're watching this, or you're even watching the replay before 8 tonight, that at the beginning is where I have all the stoneware that I have available. If you are local to Corning, I have pickup scheduled for Monday evening at the Corning Wegmans. So local to Corning, if you live in Elmira, if you live in Watkins Glen, it's at the Corning Wegmans. I've had people think I was going to be at the Elmira Wegmans, and no, I'll be at the Corning Wegmans Monday night from 5 to 7. I can also ship to you if there's something you want. Just know that you'll need to pay the shipping, and it will probably start around $4 to $5 and could be as high as 15. So depending on what it is that you want, just know that would be an added cost if you are not able to do a pickup with me. If you're local and Monday night is out of the question, but you really want the product, again, just let me know. We'll work out another plan. You know, I try to help as much as I can, but obviously, you know, availability for all of us can sometimes be a challenge. So don't let that stop you. I will be live watching the whole thing as things go. Well, obviously I'll be posting and then paying attention. I'll be refreshing my feed as well. I've got most everything scheduled, but I'll be watching so that if you have questions, absolutely send me a private message on Facebook during the event, although I will also keep an eye on my phone and message me if you have questions about anything that goes up, okay? So I hope I'll see you later during the closet sale, and I'll post pictures of this when it's done. So have a good night, and well, no, don't have a good night. Have a good couple of hours, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.